That should be enough.
Hey! Whisky Stories Podcast!
Production. Head of research, what a man.
Oh, that's really good, Angus.
Whoa. It's not a pint, lads.
That is an Angus whiskey bottle.
It's a quadruple, yeah.
Bring it over here, lads, we'll get it poured out.
Gregor, tell us a little bit about Lady the Glen.
And how it started.
So I started the business about 2012. So I was working in Sports Stores in Stirling. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I'm very familiar with it. Yeah. I was.
There's pictures on the wall.
What sports does it sell? You're going to have to explain this to me.
It's like a sports bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So back then I learned about independent bottling from a guy who used to work on oil rigs. So that was how I found out about the industry. My dad, he was a piper in the Black Watch. So he used to travel with a military pipe band, travel to Japan, the US, had like an amazing experience, came back, would do weddings and things like that and get a bottle of whiskey as a gift or as form of payment.
Right.
And that was really sparked an interest. So from there I was interested in whiskey.
Not playing the pipes.
I didn't want to play the pipes, I did fancy it, but then he said, my parents got divorced.
Right.
So that got a bit grim. And you need to get, for piping, you need to go there every week to learn.
Yes.
I do play guitar and piano though.
There you go.
Okay.
So there is a piano I did see in your office when we came in. I mean, I have to say, Angus, it's something that I've always regretted actually, is the bagpipes, because you suddenly look at it and you say, and a lot of people that we have on this podcast, similar to what you're saying about your dad there, Gregor, is the fact that like whiskey can be used as a huge sort of ambassadorial type of thing. Whenever you go around the world and you say that you're a Scotsman, Scots person,
People say whiskey,
people say, and I always feel like, I don't know, I cringe a little bit when a Scotsman goes abroad or someone from Scotland goes abroad and so they meet a tourist and say, do you like whiskey though? I can't stand this stuff. And what a regret. And I think, I look at rugby internationals and you see all the kids on the streets with playing the bagpipes and stuff like that, and I've always said my daughter's only 5 months, so she's a bit too young for the bagpipes, but when she's old enough she'll be learning and she'll be getting thrown out on rugby international weekends to make her pocket money. But I think that
sounds like a Fife for dad.
But it's easier when you've got your 6 fingers.
Well, I was going to say there's an element where you have to actually be. There's a bit of talent required as well as practice. Because I mean, you should have seen me play the recorder, Graeme. I was absolutely useless. A career playing the bagpipes did not beckon.
No, I've seen you over in a bunghole. So
well, there you go.
But what I would say is, like, I suppose if it wasn't going to be bagpipes, then whiskey is probably the next best way to get you around the world, and it's a lot easier to do.
Well, that's why I got involved in the industry and acquired my first 2 casks, is because what other industry in Scotland is there comparable to Scotch?
No.
It can take you all over the world.
Yep.
I mean, our brand ambassador gets to travel quite a bit. Before Paul was employed, I used to be a bit of travelling, but it's an international spirit. It's the best version of itself.
Yeah.
Compared to any other spirit in the world. The portfolio, the range, the diversity of the product.
That's why we love it.
Yeah.
And you're talking about Lady the Glen, independent bottler. There's a lot of independent bottlers we've had on the podcast. There's also a massive market for Scotch whisky. You've got a small team, just the 4 of you.
Yep.
There's been the 4 of you for a few years as well. But you've got this brand ambassador who's taken your spirit all over Europe, all over the world. What an amazing thing to have happened from a wee passion project that started now from 2 casks. What were your 2 casks?
I heard not only you start with 2 casks, but you start with a car loan.
Yeah, so that was how I originally started the business. Was I had like quite a small junior role in the bank. I used to work at Fountain Bridge, LIBOR loans, and I wanted to start a business, so I got a loan from the bank, and I was staying at Inverkeithing at the time, so I said in the application that I wanted a loan for a car.
When was this? We started the credit crunch.
Well, I was thinking if you had 2 casks and you tied 2 planks of wood, is that like a kind of Fred Flintstone type car that you could...
Yeah.
So
I could have used the empties, yeah.
And so at this point, did you have connections in whiskey, or you really were just dipping your toe in? You going to a broker, or you going direct?
So I went to a broker, a really reliable one at the time, and I got a 24-year-old Invergordon. which was great.
Lovely grain, yeah.
14-year-old Ben Rinnis, which was sherried. And then that helped me set up the brand as
That's
well.
way better than a car, by the way.
Those are, I mean, the value of that goes up, unlike a car. So it's a really solid investment.
Did you bottle those casks yourselves then, or did you just sell on the casks?
No, I bottled them. I didn't physically bottle them myself. I used a contract bottler to do it. But after that, then I got support from the Prince's Trust.
Right.
I used to work for David Urquhart Travel, and that was in East Kilbride. The guy for the Prince's Trust, Richard Gibson, I used to meet him every lunch, and he would be setting out the business plan. He's like, you have to do this. These are the figures you need to do. So I had a really good relationship with Richard, and over the years, actually, he guided me through the Scottish Edge and things. And my son's middle name's Richard because we wouldn't have been able to have the business
really?
without
So that sort of mentorship and that help from the Prince's Trust.
I mean, it was frustrating at the time because it was like, I don't really see the point in this, Richard. These are the casks. This is his brand. It should sell. This is a price point. But you're really naive when you start a business. You don't really realise that, like, the duty and everything like that.
The capital you need for a whiskey business.
And the thing is as well, we've talked about this with independent bottlers before as well, is it's dead easy to think, right, I'm just going to buy a cask of whiskey and then I'm just going to put it in a glass, and you work out what your price is going to be and what it costs to do it, and then suddenly, but then one of the things
Look at your Lindors.
well, how many people are actually going to buy your, once you suddenly you say, like, okay, I've got that Invergordon there, that's a cracking dram, it's a cracking bit of liquid, but how do people know about it? How do you get people to buy that? How do you start? Where does that, and what was the kind of things that this Richard was telling you that you were going,
It was more like bottom line stuff, like actually planning a strategy. Where are you going to sell it? Who are you going to sell it to? What does your ideal customer look like? How many bottles are they buying a year? But before that, before I actually bought the casks, I actually got samples of them. And it was Mark at Jolly Topper. So I went to him in Cadenheads.
Oh, really?
And I was like, what do you think of these? And it was Mark said, yeah, they're pretty good. So it was, because bearing in mind, I'm still quite new to Scotch at that point. I mean, I've worked in sportsers where we do the finest Canadian clubs and famous grouse and Jack Daniels. But, you know, in terms of like single cask independent bottling, it's totally different. And Mark was really generous with his time.
That's a big step. I mean, to go to that kind of money and then to take loans and stuff like that. So
it was a big gamble.
And when you're talking about, like what you're saying at sportsters and stuff, if you're working a bar, what were you into your whiskies before that point?
I wouldn't say I was. I studied business at uni and I was working in a job that made me miserable. So I was desperate. I mean, I'd looked at other sort of businesses, like everything for like soap making, and I was like, this is not going to work. And then to get the brand and everything for Lady of the Glen, I actually went to the National Library in Scotland and read Minto reports. And that's why I was reading about how can you create a brand that fits in independent bottling, because what's different about Lady of the Glen is we don't have family history. It's not like G&M or a lot of other independent bottlers at the time in 2012 where you've got families that have built up portfolios. So the branding is contemporary. It's Scottish, it's floral. We got, when we had like the floral pouches, I don't know if you've seen like lilac pouches, I approached an amazing fabric design company in Glasgow run by two young ladies at the time called Bespoke Atelier, and they designed this floral pattern, and we used that, and then over time we eventually just made that the actual floral bottle.
And how did the name come about as well, Lady of the Glen?
So that's named after my time in Stirling. So I really enjoyed my time in Stirling. It was a huge leap to get into uni because I wasn't that good in high school. So getting into uni was brilliant. I made incredible friends. The experience of moving home and going into halls, as you probably seen, it's incredible.
But amongst Stirling,
Alumni.
Exactly. I guess it's your face on a wall in Stirling Uni.
No, absolutely not.
Podcast, an uneducated part of the
You made the most
on the wall of shame, I think.
You made the most of your time at Stirling University. I'm like a guy beside you here.
I made the most of my time at Stirling Uni. I don't know if I'm, you know.
Listen, you're up in bungholes.
There you go, exactly.
So Lady of the Glen,
Yes, it's named after one of the ghosts at Stirling Castle, the Green Lady Ghost. I would have called it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so quite open about that. That was on all the branding. It's in the story about the business, because like I wanted the business to succeed, so it had to be something I cared about.
Authentic.
It was never going to be about creating like I don't know, something that you could just happily sell. It had to have a name and something I cared
Something
about.
you're proud of.
Yeah.